So let's discuss game theory and strategic behavior. Let's start off by identifying what is game theory. So in game theory, we usually have players, we have strategies, we have outcomes, and not always, but a lot of the time we have a Nash equilibrium, which is the best possible sort of bundle for both players. So in this game, we have two players. We have Toyota and we have Honda. And each of these players have two decisions to make, which are the strategies. And the strategies in this case for both players are either they're going to build a new plant or not build a new plant. And again, build a new plant or not build a new plant. And there's four possible outcomes. And those outcomes are in each sort of cell. So this is the four outcomes right here. So we have 16, 16, 20, 15, 18, 18, and 15 and 20. So let's look at what each of the players are going to do based on the other player's choice. So the number on the left side is going to be Honda, and the number on the right is going to be Toyota, which means this number right here identifies Honda, and this number identifies Toyota. Same thing. This number identifies Honda, this number identifies Toyota. Honda, Toyota, Honda, Toyota. Now, if Toyota decides to build a new plant, Honda has two options. They're either going to build a new plant or not build a new plant. And if they're going to build a new plant, it's going to yield 16. And if they're not going to yield a new plant, it's going to if they're not going to build a plant, it's going to yield 15. And since 16 is greater than 15, their decision is that they're going to build a new plant. If Toyota decides to build a new plant. If Toyota decides not to build a new plant, then we know that Honda has two options again. They're either going to build a new plant or not build a new plant. And since 20 is greater than 18, Honda is going to build a new plant if Toyota decides not to build a new plant. Now let's do the same thing for Toyota. If Honda decides to build a new plant, Toyota is deciding between 16 and 15. And since 16 yields is higher than 15, then Toyota will build a new plant. And if Honda decides not to build a new plant, then Toyota is either going to build a new plant or not build a new plant. And since 20 is greater than 18, then they are going to build a new plant. So we can see that in this case, if no matter what Toyota does, Honda is always going to build a new plant. So whether Toyota builds a new plant or not builds a new plant, Honda is always going to build a new plant. And as a result, we call this a dominant strategy. So it's a dominant strategy for Honda, since it doesn't matter what Toyota is going to do, Honda will always build the new plant. And where both of them are in the same quadrant right here, we call this Nash equilibrium, where the best possible outcome is for both of them to build a new plant.